Hello everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to have you here today. Today, we'll be exploring the foundation of Linux for beginners and aspiring system administrators. Our focus will be on understanding the Linux file system and making it simple to grasp. In this presentation, we'll cover the key concepts that will help you get started with Linux and build your confidence. So, let's dive in and discover how Linux's file system works. Let's talk about what a file system actually is. Essentially, it's the organizational method that manages how data is stored and retrieved on a computer. In Linux, this structure is hierarchical, kind of like an upside-down tree. At the top, we have the root, which is the starting point of the entire structure. From there, it branches out into various directories, creating a tree-like pattern with branches and sub-branches. This setup helps us organize files and directories in a logical manner, making it easier to find and manage data. Understanding this hierarchy is fundamental because it underpins how Linux handles data storage and retrieval. So, when we think about the overall theme of managing data efficiently, the file system structure plays a crucial role in keeping everything organized and accessible. Think of the root directory as the foundation of a building. All other directories and files are built upon this starting point. In Linux, every path begins from here, making it the most crucial part of the system. When I mention the single // that's the symbol that represents the root directory. It's the very top of the hierarchy, the base from which everything else branches out. Understanding this concept is key because without it, the entire structure of the system wouldn't hold together. So, whenever you're navigating or organizing your files, remember that this root directory is the starting point for everything. These 6 directories form the backbone of the Linux file system. Each one has a specific purpose, and understanding what they do is crucial for anyone involved in system administration. For example, the /tmp directory is where temporary files are stored, which are often created by applications or the system itself for short-term use. The bin directory contains essential system commands that are necessary for the system to operate properly and are available to all users. Then we have opt, which is used for third-party applications, software that's added beyond the core system. The /var directory is where logs and variable data are stored, making it vital for troubleshooting and system monitoring. The etc. directory holds system configuration files, which control how the system and applications behave. And finally, the home directory is where user personal files and home directories are kept, giving each user a dedicated space. Understanding these directories helps us navigate and manage the system more effectively, tying into the overall theme of mastering Linux system administration. Now, this separation really helps ensure privacy and keeps things organized when multiple users are on the same system. Each person gets their own subdirectory within the home folder, like username. This is where they can store all their personal files, documents, downloads, pictures, and more. Think of it as their own personal space on the computer. The home directory is essentially the dedicated area for each user, much like your personal documents folder on other operating systems. It's a simple but effective way to keep everything tidy and private, especially when several people are using the same machine. Most configuration files are plain text, which actually makes them quite user-friendly because you can edit them with any text editor you prefer. This simplicity is really helpful when managing different system settings. These files typically include network configurations, user permissions, and application settings, so they play a vital role in how your system operates. When we look at the service settings, these are the configuration files that control the entire system and all the installed services. They ensure everything runs smoothly and according to your specific needs. All of these configurations are stored in what we call the configuration hub. And for system configuration, the key location is the etc. directory. It's essentially the central place where most of these important configuration files are kept, making it easier for system administrators to locate and manage them. So, understanding this structure helps us see how the system is organized and how we can efficiently customize and troubleshoot it when necessary. Log files are especially important when it comes to troubleshooting and monitoring the overall health of the system. They provide a detailed record of what's happening behind the scenes. For example, system logs are typically stored in the /var/log directory, which is a key location to check when diagnosing issues. You'll also find package manager data there, which helps track software installations and updates. Spool files for printing are stored in /var2, and they're useful if you need to troubleshoot print jobs. Database files stored in this directory can give insights into data management, and cached data helps speed up processes by temporarily storing information. Now, the /var directory itself is quite dynamic. It stores data that changes during system operation. This includes variable data storage, which is constantly updated. The logs and data in /var are crucial for understanding system activity and diagnosing problems quickly. So, in essence, the /var directory acts as a central hub for information that varies during normal operation, making it vital for troubleshooting, monitoring, and maintaining system health. Remember, keeping an eye on these logs and data can save you a lot of time and frustration. Now, let's look at where some of the essential command line utilities are stored. These are fundamental tools like ls, cp, mv, and mkdir, which are crucial for system operation. You'll find these located in the bin directory. These commands help us navigate, copy, move, and create directories seamlessly, making system management much more efficient. Moving on, third-party or optional software applications are kept in a different location, specifically in the op directory. This separation is really important because it keeps these additional applications isolated from the core system components, helping with organization and system stability. It makes it easier to manage and update third-party software without interfering with the essential parts of the system. So, in summary, bin is where the core command line tools live, vital for everyday operations, while opt hosts extra applications that enhance or extend the system's capabilities. Understanding this structure helps us see how Linux systems are organized for both stability and flexibility. The /tmp directory is really a handy place for storing temporary work files, cache data, or any intermediate processing results that don't need to stay around permanently. Think of it as a workspace for applications. Files here are meant to be short-lived. Usually, these files are deleted after certain events occur, such as after a system reboot or when a set amount of time has passed. Additionally, if the files are no longer needed by the applications that created them, they're also cleaned up. This makes the /tmp directory ideal for transient file storage, things that are useful during a process, but aren't important to keep long-term. It keeps the system tidy and efficient, preventing unnecessary clutter. So, in the context of overall system management, understanding the role of /tmp helps us appreciate how temporary data is handled seamlessly behind the scenes, supporting smooth and efficient application performance. Understanding the Linux file system structure is truly fundamental for anyone involved in system administration. These directories don't just exist randomly. They work together to create an organized and efficient system. Grasping how they connect helps you navigate and manage your Linux environment more effectively. Each directory has a specific purpose and role, which makes the system logical and predictable. For example, some directories store system files, others hold user data, and some are dedicated to device information. Recognizing these roles makes it easier to find what you need and perform administrative tasks confidently. Now let's talk about the special directories, starting with the root directory, represented simply by a /. Everything begins from this root, which acts as the base of the entire file system hierarchy. Think of it like the trunk of a tree from which all other branches grow. And speaking of the tree, Linux uses a hierarchical, tree-like structure to organize files and directories. This structure isn't flat. It's a neatly organized hierarchy that allows for easy navigation and management. It's a logical way to keep everything in order, making your work more straightforward. To sum up the key takeaways, Understanding this structure is crucial because it underpins how Linux operates. It enables you to navigate the system efficiently, locate files quickly, and perform administrative tasks with confidence. In our next session, we'll build on this foundation by exploring basic Linux commands. These commands will help you navigate through these directories and manage your files more effectively.